Hello students, we have discussed different topics of circular motion. One of the topic was centripetal force. I hope you could understand. Today I am going to give some examples of centripetal force in our daily life. So students, best of luck and be ready to understand. It is very common experience that when you are taking a turn on your two-wheeler or bicycle, you slightly bend towards center of the turn. Now the question is why? Suppose you are going straight. In horizontal direction, you are in equilibrium. Let us suppose center of gravity of your body. Horizontally, you can imagine two forces F1 and F2 acting in opposite directions. While going straight, you are in equilibrium in horizontal direction, so F1 and F2 are equal. But when you are taking turn, you need centripetal force, and centripetal force F comes from friction between tire and road. So F1 is replaced by F and F2 is left free. See the diagram carefully, you can understand. Then F, that is frictional force directed towards center of the path, and F2 are forming anti-clockwise couple. Couple acting on the body has tendency to turn the cyclist outwards, and there is a possibility of accident or getting hurt. But if cyclist bends slightly towards center, line of action of his weight mg will shift slightly from his bottom in that condition. Weight mg will produce clockwise torque, and this clockwise torque will balance couple produced by F and F2. In such condition, the cyclist will remain safe and he can take turn. Now the question is, by what angle the cyclist must bend? In equilibrium, clockwise and anti-clockwise torque should be equal. By diagram, you can see clockwise torque is equal to mg into Ga sin theta, that is force into perpendicular distance from line of action. And anti-clockwise torque is equal to F into Ga cos theta. Here F is centripetal force, that is mv square by r. Solving this equation, we get tan theta is equal to v square by rg. So this is expression of angle by which the cyclist must bend while taking turn with speed v on path of radius r. Another very important example of centripetal force in our daily life. If a four-wheeler, like your car, is taking turn on level road, it requires centripetal force directed towards center of the path, and it comes from friction between road and tire. This centripetal force, of course, depends on speed. If the speed of the car is up to certain limit, then required centripetal force is obtained. But if you keep on increasing the speed, a stage comes when the car has tendency to slip outside, that is called skidding. Means up to a maximum limit of speed, the car can take turn safely. That maximum speed can be calculated here. And this maximum speed is given as under root mu s rg, mu s static coefficient of friction, r radius of the path, and g acceleration due to gravity. Third example, banking on the roads or rails. On roads or rails, inner edge is kept slightly lower than outer edge on turns. This is called banking. Banking is given to impart sufficient centripetal force to the vehicle so that the vehicle can take turn safely. Let us suppose banking angle is theta, weight of the vehicle is mg, resultant normal reaction is r. R will have two components, r cos theta and r sin theta. It is very clear from the diagram that r cos theta is balanced by weight mg, while r sin theta imparts centripetal force. So we can make two equations by balancing forces in vertical and horizontal directions. The equations are r cos theta is equal to mg and r sin theta is equal to mv square by r. Dividing the two equations, we get tan theta is equal to v square by rg. Means if banking angle is theta, then vehicle can take turns safely with speed v on path of radius r. So these are simple examples and interesting examples in our daily life which are related to centripetal force. So I hope you students could understand. Keep studying, be safe. Thank you, students.